Hey, this is Walter Jones.
This is Austin St. John.
And you're listening to
Ranger Danger.
Go, go, Ranger Danger. Go, go, Ranger Danger. Go, go, Ranger Danger. Matt and Michael's Ranger Danger.
Alright, welcome once again to Mighty Morphin Ranger Danger, the podcast where we watch an episode of the televisual production entitled Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and after that we have a bit of a chinwag about it. We dissect it, we discuss it, we massage it in our hands and really try and get a good feel for what it is and what makes it.
Did we do that? Are we supposed to have been doing that? This is our 80th episode. Are you telling me now that I'm meant to have been massaging?
Well, I mean, we could start now. I'm
This
Matt.
is going to get weird.
Michael's here. Kaylee, once again, with us.
I seem to come on here when weird things happen between
No,
you
weird
two.
things happen all the time. It's just that you're here for some of them, yeah.
Okay.
You're actually here, Kaylee, for episode number 80, which is entitled Opposites Attract.
I have a feeling it's going to be about a magnetic type of monster, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a good guess.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
That seems more likely than some sort of... it could be like a Cupid monster.
Yeah.
Although last episode was a very Tommy and Kimberly dating episode. So,
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to more of that, because I like them.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. Before we get to that, though, we actually have a website.
A website, Matt?
That's right.
Like on the internet?
As far as I know, I mean, I don't have a good grasp on these computers that all the kids are using these days, but
Sure.
my understanding...
Can you get it on like your iPads and your phones and your thingamies?
Yeah, I think if you put in the web address www.rangerdangerpodcast.com into your iPad or your iPhone or whatever thing you use, you can actually access this website.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, on there, there's actually stuff like show notes and our Ranger Danger Creature feature, which is our ranking of monsters. Fantasy Sword On is there for our Dino Charge episodes. All sorts of great stuff. But if you wanted to actually send us a message over the internet, you can do that using email. rangerdangerpodcast@gmail.com is where we do that. We usually read those emails out on our Dino Charge episodes now, though. You can also follow us on Facebook or iTunes or Stitcher or YouTube. We have a shop, which is rangerdangerpodcast.com/shop, where you can go and buy cool stuff. And we're on Google Plus, if you're the sad sort of person who uses Google Plus.
Don't... If they are, we
You're going
don't
to
want to have
upset people.
insulted.
Like, why would they follow you on Google Plus if you have just told them that you're a sad person?
Aren't you a professional writer?
Statistically speaking, the chances of one of our listeners using Google Plus is quite low.
That's probably not
I hope
fair.
if you have someone that does listen who is on that, they send you hate mail.
You should. I mean, we haven't really gotten hate mail
I haven't
yet.
gotten
So.
any hate mail.
So-
I'm kind of disappointed.
Hey,
right?
don't say that, Michael.
Oh, sure. We can insult the people on Google Plus. These guys don't hate us. These guys love us.
Yeah. I'm very sad if I got hate mail, to be honest. I don't know if I could take it.
I definitely won't tell you if we get hate
Well,
mail.
maybe you shouldn't be going around telling people they're sad if they use a certain social
It's
media
Google Plus.
platform.
We're fine.
So just one quick thing to talk about before we get into Opposites Attract.
Yep.
Kaylee, can you explain to Matt, if Matt doesn't know, what Archive of Our Own is?
Oh, it's...
I don't know what this is. I'm ready to be enthralled.
Okay, basically it's a place where people put fan fiction up, and it covers basically all sorts of fandoms and ships and just generally everything that you could think of. Any show, there will be fan fiction on there. Any book, like...
Okay, so just a fan fiction place.
Yes,
It's
it's a
a-
fan fiction website. It's very
It's
popular
amazing,
these
though.
days.
Yes.
I was doing some Googling around during the week for something, I don't even remember what, and one of the autocomplete suggestions that popped up was Ranger Danger Archive of Our Own.
Okay.
Look, I've gone to the page. It's just a user who goes by the name Ranger Danger
That's
and
his
has
name.
written some fan fiction for Supernatural and Harry
I
Potter
was
and Doctor Who.
almost like wondering whether someone had written fan fiction about the two of you,
Yeah.
and I was like, if they had, you must read it.
Here's the deal, right? I'm incredibly disappointed that that's not what it was.
Yeah.
There was a brief moment where I thought, oh my god, has someone written fan
You're like,
fiction?
someone ships us.
And then my second thought was, oh my god, if it's me having sex with Matt, I don't know that I can read that. Like, if it's Ranger Danger fan fiction, I have to read it.
Yeah.
But if it's me having sex with Matt, I don't know.
It'll be a tough read.
I don't know. Like, maybe I have to get Kaylee to read it and then tell me how bad it is.
Yeah.
The challenge is out, guys.
Would it be worse than the dream you were informed about where you had sex with a ghost? An angry ghost?
Yes, it would be worse than that.
Okay.
Because I have to see Matt all the time. I don't have to see a ghost all the time.
Maybe it's here now, watching you. You don't
That's
know this.
Okay, well now I'm not going to be able to sleep. So thanks for that one, Kaylee. But yeah, maybe there's just a ghost in there. What is wrong with you? Why would you do that to me?
Because I am a terrible person.
So, Matt, I haven't discussed this with you yet.
Yeah.
But if you write fan fiction for our show and put it up somewhere, I think we should read some of it.
I'd do that. Yep, I'll make that commitment.
Okay. I'm worried that what we've just asked for is people to write the most homosexual fan fiction that has ever been written.
I
That's
think
fine. I'm an open,
you should
accepting
do
sort
it.
of guy.
You should do it. I endorse this 100%.
Kaylee's going to write it, isn't she?
Yeah, it's fine.
No, it will be very bad if I wrote it, so we're not going there. But someone that can actually write should do it.
I'm worried that I've opened a Pandora's box of...
Don't worry, there'll be no
I
boxes
hope-
involved, Michael.
So, someone should just send you like links to all of the stuff they write and just emails of these things.
I'm kind of worried that we're going to get someone who takes another fan fiction
Just
and
changes
just replaces the names.
Yeah.
They find like Captain America and Iron Man and just swap us out.
Dibs cap.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's fine. He says as he's about to push some buttons on the computer. That's all I had to discuss. Did you have anything else to say about that, Matt?
No, I'm curious now. Not curious in that sort of thing.
I feel like that's how the fanfic should start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matt being like, I'm
curious about this, Michael.
You've been drinking and Michael's not drunk because he doesn't drink.
He doesn't drink.
So you're just like wasted.
Whereas I have like
Yeah.
numerous inebriation options available to me. So just some hints for your
Matt's
story.
just drunk all the time, guys. I don't know if you know that. Oh,
you
dear,
say
this is-
as he's drinking water.
Well, it's water
Maybe
and
it's
or
vodka. Yeah.
I'm worried that we've done the wrong thing here. But
What if like we're living in the fan fiction universe and like this is just about to get really weird?
I am so
and this will
glad
be
you
the
brought
fan-
this up on an episode I am on. I am so happy.
if I can be honest, we've recorded a couple since I found that, and I was saving it for Kaylee.
Anyway,
All right, I think we'd better get to the actual show,
Yeah.
don't you?
that's Power Rangers, we should say. We're not going to put on a show.
If you'd like an actual detail before we start recording, Matt says, "Let's make art." You can have that one for free.
Yeah, that's right. Before we podcast every time. Maybe I should have that actually at the start of our episodes. I don't know if you guys listen to the Penny Arcade podcast, which is just Mike and Jerry writing comic. But whenever they start recording, Mike always asks, "Are we recording?" to be an asshole. So maybe that could be my version of that.
All right, let's go to Opposites Attract,
Yeah.
which hopefully is not also the name of this fan fiction.
No,
We're
it
not
should
that
be.
opposite.
It
No,
should be.
we're the
No,
same
they're basically
person.
the same. Yeah, basically the same person.
I'd like to see the guest hosts come into play as well.
Yeah, you would. There'll be some... All right, we have to stop.
We have to stop now. We're going to go record. You can watch it too. We'll be back in a sec.
And we're back. I quite like that one as well.
Yeah.
We're on a good run.
What episode?
Yeah, there was many opposites attracting all over the shop. And once again, you were both right, Michael. It was a magnet monster, and Kaylee, there was some romance. So that's a 2 for 2.
We should do this more often, Ken.
Very impressive. Before we get into the actual episode, just with that new opening,
Yep.
I find it weird that they use that shot of Billy falling down the wormhole in the command center.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Because it's like one of their worst effect shots of the show, and to have it every week.
They must have known that.
I don't-
It's because they're trying to get the White Ranger in, and
Yeah.
at this point he's been in one episode.
Yeah.
When they're making this sequence, it's a lot of shots from white light.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's better options than that shot, surely.
Yeah. So we're in Juice Bar, as we often are, and we get to meet a new lady in Billy's life. So clearly, whoever that girl was from like 80 episodes ago,
Marge?
Maybe.
Madge?
that was a pretty terrible name. So I'm glad that he dropped that. And it's
Jesus.
I mean, it is Power Ranger land. Like, maybe she died.
That's true. Maybe she'll stepped on at some point.
So Billy's made a polarizing gauge.
Yeah.
There's a rare solar storm happening that happens once every 100 years. And he needs to collect data for Science Club,
Yeah. Well, Science Club has been mentioned before, so that's not that weird.
I guess.
It's weird that he's... Well, I was about to say it's weird that he's able to collect data that, like, government scientists can't.
He built a
but
flying super speed car and invented teleportation.
That's exactly where I was going with that.
Yeah.
He's actually probably the world's preeminent scientist.
Yeah.
So, not that weird in the grand scheme of things.
So Kimberly and I think her name is Laura.
Yep.
They're taking the Angel Grove Angelettes on a hike. They're the Girl Scouts,
Yeah,
basically.
basically. Just,
Legally distinct Girl Scouts.
yeah.
Laura's pretty cute. Like, I can see why Billy would be interested in that. Good job, Billy.
You approve?
I approve.
That's good.
More so than Marge. Oh, that's that really mean to Marge.
You
Oh,
are sounding really mean to Marge.
Sorry,
What
Marge.
did she ever do to you?
Nothing. I'm just saying I approve of this.
Imagine you're like the friend that's like, yeah, she's super cool when they're going out, and then like as soon as they break up, yeah, I'd never liked her anyway.
Yeah, basically.
I'm so glad you got rid of her.
So Trini wants Billy to go on the hike.
Yep.
I'd like to think that it's so that she can go on a date with Richie. She's just like... Because, you know, Tommy and Kimberly are off doing something.
Yep.
Zach and Jason are
Always
friends
fighting.
all the time, so they're off doing something else. And
she's
Trini's like, Billy
stuck
keeps
with him.
hanging around with me.
Yeah.
If he just goes on this hike, I can finally get with that cute guy.
Yeah.
She's like, I
It's interesting-
actually have game. Like,
Oh, it's interesting too because Trini says, "Oh, you know, you should go for this," and Billy's like, "Oh, I can't because science and stuff." And then she just gives him this withering look that is so good, and it's some of the best acting on the show because she doesn't have to say anything. She totally just communicates with her expression that you're being an idiot and you need to grow up.
His arguments are basically like, she's a lot hotter than I am.
Yeah.
And
that
anyway,
means she won't know any smart things, which just...
Yeah,
Billy would have
he's-
been a gamer gator.
yeah, that's right. No, I don't know. He
No,
wouldn't.
no, he wouldn't. That's mean to Billy.
Yeah.
So...
She just has a
Bulk
lot
and
of
Skull.
self-esteem issues.
Bulk and Skull have got... I think the word contraption is the only fair description for what it is. There's definitely like the head of an electric guitar
There are fly swatters on
and
it.
2 parts of a fly swat and like a racquetball, like a squash racket.
There's a lot of similarities between this episode and last episode. Like, Bulk and Skull have a weird Power Ranger detecting a device.
I feel
it's
like
very
they're
romance
getting
focused.
a terrible obsession with tracking these guys down.
Oh, that's their whole thing in the
Yeah,
season.
just-
Like, they're not going to be doing
always.
anything else, unfortunately.
So what they're going to do
They
is...
need therapy.
Definitely.
I like to, when they enter this scene, there's a bunch of kids around the door, and they just move in, like, push them aside, like, move it to the kids. And
We've got to go explain this to the Power Rangers and then leave.
yeah.
So
It's such great shorthand for these guys are dicks. Like, they're pushing little babies around.
they're not babies. They're like...
No, they're like 6 or 7. Yeah, but
I'd
I'm
say older
still,
than
yeah,
that.
older than that.
I'm a bad judge.
So they're going to connect this device to what they describe as a giant satellite in the sky,
Yeah.
and then send out a message to the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Nothing ever comes of that, which is good,
No.
because it would be very confusing if Bulk and Skull had satellite access.
Billy says, guys, there's a whole thing going on. Just do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bulk and Skull, no, we're going to do it right now. You just don't want us to find out who the Power Rangers are.
While simultaneously acknowledging that he's a scientist, but also dismissing his views on scientists.
Bulk and Skull are definitely climate change deniers.
That's right.
Look, I know you are a scientist, and I know that all the science says we shouldn't do this, but we're gonna do it.
Anyway.
We've made up the decision that actually we're just gonna do it. What would you know, science man?
About science.
So as Laura and Kimberly are leaving,
Yeah.
Laura says, "I'm a little worried about this atmospheric storm that Billy's talking about." And Kimberly says, "We have compasses. What could go wrong?" So
I desperately want to carry a compass around with me everywhere.
you can say,
And that could be my new catchphrase.
It just,
Yeah, someone would be like, Matt,
Sounds like, what-
it's looking a bit rainy out there. I don't know that we should go out today. We have a compass. What could go wrong?
I think this is a good idea and you should do it.
Yeah, I think so too.
So first, they know compasses are magnetic and it's a magnetic storm, right?
Billy should have pulled her up on that, but I think he's probably also thinking she won't understand. It's not going to get through. I might just let this one slide.
Second, Kimberly must know that, one, her going off with a group of people into the woods is likely to get them all attacked by monsters.
Yeah.
And two, that nothing in this town is ever just a rare natural phenomenon.
It doesn't end in a monster.
Yeah. Like, you know, we're going record winds. Oh, no, it'll be all right. No, there will be Hurricane Or, the giant hurricane monster.
Yeah.
That's just how Angel Grove works.
But they have a compass. What could go wrong?
Yeah, I think that was... She really thought that the compass would protect them.
Well, we're going to find out what could go wrong. The answer is terrible science.
Yeah, I could tell as someone who values scientific accuracy in these programs, you were having a bad time throughout this whole thing. It's a corker for bad science.
This is worse than the core.
Is it though?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Science-wise,
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for the core. It's a good feel. I'll give it a second chance, guys.
Don't give the core a second.
Give the core a second chance.
I have not seen it.
Hashtag
so-
yes to the core, hashtag no to the core.
We'll see. So, they're using the buddy system on this hike.
Yeah.
There appear to be many precautions on this hike. First, Laura and Kimberly have marked out some sort of perimeter with red flags.
Yeah.
So if you get to the... I assumed when she said we're going on a hike, that, like, they'd just all go on a hike together.
No, they're orienteering specifically.
It definitely sounds like that. So there's a perimeter, and if they go outside it, that's too far. So don't... I feel like it would be possible to get lost enough that you didn't know which side of the perimeter you were on.
Oh well.
But anyway. And also there's a buddy system. And also, if you get lost, just sit down and
start
scream.
screaming. Yeah.
Not a bad system, really.
It's a terrible system when there's a bear in the park. But we'll get to that
Yeah,
later.
that's what I was going to say. Like,
We're not
If-
up to
if
there
they
yet.
weren't-
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
if there weren't, like, other dangerous things in the woods other than just getting lost, good idea. But not so good in hindsight when you see...
So Goldar goes down to steal the polarizer.
But before this, we have a shot in Billy's lab, his science
Yes,
lab.
we do.
Where we see his glowing disco ball and some weird thing that none of us could figure out what it was.
It's like a vibrating string.
Yeah, it's bizarre. But the light in this scene and Billy's intense face gives his face a really, like, Michael Keaton, Bruce Wayne intense look. That's really cool.
There's a shot in it, and it was weird because I don't know that we've ever seen like an insert shot before
Yeah.
of him typing on the keyboard.
Yeah.
I just don't know that we've ever seen a shot like that on this show.
No, it's bizarre.
It's... Yeah, I don't
We're
know.
testing the boundaries.
This is a weird episode that it's sort of tangentially a Billy episode. He doesn't really have a story in
No.
this. But there's a lot of cool, like, oh, Billy's a badass moments in this.
There's one coming up in this fight that's
Yeah.
particularly
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, we've suddenly turned him into Clint Eastwood. Okay, that's what's going on. So Goldar comes down to steal the polarizer.
Yep.
Why does he have to steal the polarizer?
Well, it's interesting because
Lord Zed did not learn his lesson from last week.
he's not respecting people's
episode.
properties,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
He,
But why
Tommy
couldn't
was
he
wrong.
just zap it on the table?
Yeah. I don't properly understand that either, but that's fine. Whatever.
they don't like to cheat. They're bad guys, but they do it properly.
The other part that I have an issue with is he lands and he says, I've come for that device.
Yeah, I love Goldar's archness. Like, he can't just go down, grab a thing, and go out. He has to appear in, like, a pile of flames and be like, this is what I'm here to do.
Yeah, Billy, this is what you have to stop me from doing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, bad things will happen.
Yeah.
Maybe he's secretly a good guy. And he's like...
He's trying to telegraph,
Yeah.
Billy, I need you to stop me from getting that device.
Yeah.
He's not
No.
that competent.
Nope.
So, what we get here is Billy having a pretty good putty fight.
My one issue,
Yeah.
Billy doesn't try at all to protect the device.
He really doesn't.
He
That's
doesn't
right.
hold on to it,
Yeah.
and he just leaves it there and runs away.
He does some incredibly impressive athletic things, though.
Yep.
Like, David Yost was in amazing shape and could do pretty cool things.
He doesn't sound like him in the fight. He
Yeah, there's a
sounds
few
like-
dubbed things that sound more like Austin St. John than
Yeah,
anything, which
and
is
I
bizarre.
don't... He hasn't walked out of the show at this point.
It
so-
could just be that when they were editing the episode, they noticed that the audio was no good for that bit. They didn't have time to get him
Yeah,
into
who
record,
knows?
so they're like, Peter, jump in the booth for a second, do some grunts.
He throws a couple of putties like down a hill,
Yeah.
and we get a slow pan up the hill from his feet of him just standing there.
And the wind,
squinting.
like,
Yeah.
very somber, and the wind is so strong that it's blowing his clothes and his hair.
If he had a poncho, he'd be Clint Eastwood.
Or if it was nighttime and he was on top of the skyscraper, he would be Batman.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It's a great shot, and I think both Matt and I made vocal, like, whoa
Yeah.
noises.
When we get a long way down the track to ranking Power Rangers, this is an episode that would bump Billy up for me.
Yes.
Like, it's pretty great.
So, Lord Zed turns the polarizer into a monster.
Yeah.
There's a great bit where he, like, goes down to Goldar with his telescopic vision and says, Goldar, and there's a couple of seconds pause before Goldar says, yes. I really like the thought that that's just the delay between the Earth and the Moon.
Yeah.
It's like trying to talk to someone on Skype with a crappy internet connection.
Yeah. And he has to tell Goldar, like, you idiot, put it down.
Put it down, step away, then I can do my shit. So he creates a monster with a magnetic personality.
Yeah. There's some pretty great Lord Zed buttons in this one.
So his name is it Magnet Head?
I
Magnet Brain.
mean, there we go.
Magnet Brain.
We can't have another head in 2 episodes in a row, Michael. That'd
No.
be crazy.
So its head is just a giant magnet with an eye between the two poles.
Yeah.
He's got a big staff with an N on one end and an S on the other.
You're forgetting the cape, Michael.
He's also got a cape.
Which is just my favourite bizarre little detail. Because like he's a magnet, he doesn't need a cape.
Yeah, you know,
but-
magnets, capes, that's a thing.
Yeah. I love the cape.
So he's going to destroy the planet's polarity.
Yes.
No. So, look, if they'd said that he's going to destroy the polarity of the magnetic poles of the Earth, and then that will cause bad things to happen, like, over time,
Yeah.
I'd buy that. What happens is shit immediately goes insane.
They do a pretty good job of making this seem like a big deal, though. Like, Lord Zed says, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity with this 100-year magnetic storm. This will be a monster like they've never seen before. It really does seem like, they're actually in pretty dire
We get,
shape.
like, Star Trek bridge-shaking shots.
In the juice bar.
In the juice bar. Money is just flying out of the cash register.
The clock's just going nuts.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah.
Vulcan Skull's machine doesn't explode, but sparks.
Yeah.
Which I believe it was made of tinsel, part of it, right? Like there was tinsel in the tree. It was
Bulk
wasn't
is
interesting.
convinced that they've contacted the Power Rangers.
Yep.
And he and Skull kind of hug, at which point Skull sees a man in a bear costume behind them.
It's the best thing.
It's so out of left field.
I think,
Yeah,
like,
I was not expecting that at all.
as I was saying last week, there's some pretty good Vulcan Skull gags. This one where they're like, we've detected something, it might be the Power Rangers, they turn, and it's a fucking grizzly bear. It's pretty great. Like, I loved it.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's just...
They really should just stop trying. Like,
No, no. No, they should keep doing this. I'm really enjoying the Vulcan Skull stuff lately.
maybe it's because they're not getting like stuff splattered all over their face all the
absolutely.
time.
It's definitely 90% because of that. Laura, she's high, right?
Why do you say that?
She does not react to anything with anything except like a, this is something that's going on.
She's just a cool cucumber, man.
Well,
I respect
I
that.
mean, she is from Angel Grove. Like, this is new, but they do deal with a lot of weird stuff.
It's true. And she's someone who, like, as part of her role with this organisation,
She'd have to be
be calm and collected and keep
like
her
she's
shit
got to
together.
look after the kids.
Yeah. I really respect
Kimberly
it.
runs off.
Cool character. I like Laura.
So Kimberly does indeed run off,
Yeah.
teleports back to the command centre. So if Magnet Head is not stopped, the planet will demolecularize and disintegrate permanently.
Yep.
No!
That escalated
No.
quickly. It's like,
No.
there's this weird,
No.
like, flashing light
No.
thing on the screen.
No. 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 Fuck you. No.
Are you done?
No. No. No.
Look,
Yeah, okay,
look,
fine.
It's already happened. It happened.
I need to know who wrote this episode so I can punch him in the face.
You would meet this person and like not punch him in the face. Honestly.
I really don't mind with this stuff. It's like, it's cool and fun and silly. I'm down with this, but that particular part anyway. So Magnet Brain goes to an abandoned industrial plant, it looks like, and the other Rangers go to fight him, but Goldar has also appeared, and looks like he's going to take some putties to menace the kids, because he thinks the Pink Ranger is there. So Billy... Zordon first says, alright, White Ranger, you go take care of that, the others will fight Magnet Brain. Billy's like, no, I want to do it. I want to show off to my new girlfriend. And Zordon's like, no, Billy.
You're not good enough.
Tommy has Saba, so sorry, buddy.
That's interesting because I read that as, this is all my fault. I'll go save the kids.
Okay, that's another
Yeah,
valid...
that's what I thought, because it was his machine that has done this, and he was an idiot and didn't know how to protect it.
If that's the thing, wouldn't he go and destroy the monster that
Yes,
is the
that would
machine?
make more sense.
Yeah. To me, I was like, oh, he wants to go and, like, save the girl he's into. Which makes it all the more sad when later on in the episode, they're like, oh my god, the White Ranger's here, the White Ranger's so cool. Like, that could have been Billy, but no. White Ranger gets all the...
Zordon is the ultimate cock block.
Yeah, that's right.
He's a cock tube. No, I'm worried that that's another thing. And now I'm worried it's going to end up in the fan fiction.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
You gotta be careful now, Michael.
I do everything we say. Magnet Head starts to rhyme.
A little bit.
North is south, up is down. I'm about to crash this town.
Yeah.
He's no pumpkin rapper.
No, he doesn't have much game in that
No,
department.
there's no backbeat that starts as soon as he starts to rap.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the Go White Ranger Go song.
Yeah.
It's the Go Green Ranger Go song, but they just put white in instead.
That's correct. And it's strange too, because the White Ranger has a new theme song and they've already used it.
Yeah, that's the part that's weird, is that we've heard White Ranger Tiger Power.
Yeah. I don't know.
I guess he needs a second song.
Well, he gets everything else awesome, so he needs 2 of his own song.
Yeah. And this is in a scene where he's fighting Goldar. And we've talked before, most recently on Dino Charge, about how I'm always pro sword fights and there should be more
Yep.
sword fights on the show. We get a pretty decent sword fight.
There is one point in this fight where he does just fly, though.
That is true.
It's ostensibly a flying punch,
Yeah.
but he goes along the ground for what's easily
Yes.
10 seconds.
It's about 20 meters.
He's just...
You know, again, he's got a flying sword. I can buy that when hard, like
It's
Mjolnir,
about 60 feet for those of you who use stupid measurements.
like Thor uses Mjolnir. It's like he's holding onto the flying sword so he can fly.
satisfying. Okay.
That'd be pretty. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that's
I'm-
fine. Yeah, there's something really cool about this fight between what's kind of a short sword
Yeah.
and Goldar with like a proper long sword.
Like a broadsword, yeah.
Because he's having to use it up close and defend.
Yeah. It's just a really cool, well choreographed sword fight.
I do kind of wish that they'd gotten like a professional sword choreographer who could make that fight
Even better.
even better.
It's still pretty good though. As you said, because the weapons are slightly different, it has a cool dynamic.
They're using them in different scales, and
Yeah.
that's cool. So
Basically, he wins the sword fight, then
Goldar just disappears.
Yeah.
Goldar's like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bother trying to kill all those kids.
and this is intercut with the world's longest putty fight in the industrial complex.
Yeah, look, we understand the logistics, right? They just don't have footage of these Power Rangers fighting these monsters.
Yeah.
But maybe you could then de-emphasize the fights instead of having what must be like a 5 or 6 minute putty fight.
And it is intercut with some cool stuff where
Well, I liked Kimberly, Pink Ranger, climbing up the pole. That was pretty cool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you did.
It's intercut with a few cool shots of the Magnet Brain
Magnet, something
using
like
his powers to do a few different things, like confuse the Ranger's sense of direction, make their blade blasters backfire on them.
And that was the bit where I was like, he did it once, right?
Yep.
So then Black Ranger's like, I'm going to do it too. Instead, like, using the exact same thing. It's like, you think he's not going to use the same thing on you. It's just...
So they call the Power
Silly.
Blaster.
Yep.
I was really worried that he was going to backfire the Power Blaster.
That would have been interesting.
No.
That
they
doesn't
just they shoot him into a wall.
Yeah, it's actually a cool shot though, because rather than it hitting him and just exploding, he actually gets blasted like a fair distance into a wall.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, that gives it some weight.
At which point Lord Zed says, let's increase the magnitude.
Yeah. Pop, pop.
Do you think he just has lists of puns related to things? Like, this is what I'll say when I grow a magnet monster.
Well, I imagine that's what he's doing during the putty
Yeah,
fights. He's
I
grabbing
imagine
notepad.
Okay.
he's sitting there being like,
If I have to make him grow, increase the magnitude. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That'll impress Finster, I guess. So they summon the Megazord.
Yep.
Magnet Head has got a giant magnet that just sticks to the Megazord
That's a pretty-
and then electrocutes them.
Yeah, pretty interesting visual thing. It's just like a giant stereotypical U magnet that it's big enough. It's basically the size of the torso of the Megazord.
Yes, it's just like
and he just
attached.
pegs it and throws it and attaches to the Megazord's chest and starts electrocuting them. It's pretty great.
Yep.
And it's also great when you get these close-ups of each of the Megazord's fists. They rise up, grab each side of the magnet, and then just tear it in half.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It is good.
Okay. So, that's basically the end of the fight. They do their thing.
They summon the fire sword thingy.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that 2 episodes ago, we introduced the Tiger Sword.
Haven't seen it since.
Yeah, it was a huge deal.
Yep.
It was made out to be the coolest thing. And then, no Tiger Sword.
What I suspect is happening is, because we're only really quite early in the Die Ranger footage.
Yeah.
Like, this was episode 11.
Yeah.
If their White Ranger hadn't been introduced yet, they've actually got a lot of monsters to work their way through
They're trying to burn through that stuff
before
first.
they get to the White. But I'd have thought maybe
Throw
shake
one
it
in.
up a little.
Yeah.
It's weird that this was a whole, like, thing, but we haven't seen it since.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, back at the juice bar,
Yep.
Laura, she's trying to get some of the D.
The BD.
Yeah, sure. She wants to see some of Billy's inventions.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
We're the worst. We're bad people.
I don't think we are bad people.
I mean, that's pretty clear what's going on in the scene. That's the
Yeah.
subtext, is that she's like, yeah, take me to your lab and show me your electron extender and stuff.
although she does
Okay,
actually,
that's definitely going to be in the fanfiction.
although she does actually seem like she has an idea of like.
Oh, yeah, she's definitely
Yeah.
a clever lady who knows science.
Yeah,
That's
she's-
cool.
So
She's
Billy
not-
was wrong, and they will have things to talk about.
Don't stereotype pretty people, I guess.
Bulk and Skull run in, still terrified of the bear.
They come in, they're like, oh, the bear's following us. And what I desperately wanted to happen was for the bear to emerge into the room and then be right. And then you go, oh, shit, it's actually a bear. They weren't lying.
No,
No,
it's
that's
not
not-
the bear.
not what happens.
But this is probably my favourite Bulk and Skull gag for a while.
Yeah.
The Angelettes
Yeah.
just like gently lead them over to 2 chairs and pat them on the arms and say, it's okay.
Hey, you're just imagining it.
You're going to be okay. We'll help you get through this.
It's something about it.
It's adorable and funny.
Yeah.
But in a very authentic way. So, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the episode.
Yeah.
This was we didn't know it at the time, Matt. Well, I mean, I guess we kind of knew it. This is the last episode with 3 of our actors in it.
Yeah, so is that the no more new footage with
No,
those guys?
after this point,
Yep.
they were no longer on the show.
Wow, that's crazy. It's like, it was a good episode, but it's not like
No,
an episode to go out on, you know?
it's also. I mean, I think we should talk about that maybe next week. Why they left and
Yeah. That's
what the deal was there. But it's also the last time we'll see Curtis or Richie.
Oh, that's interesting. Where was Curtis this episode?
Very briefly,
Okay.
I think.
Right.
For the same reason, because Curtis is a Zack supporting character and Richie is a Trini supporting character.
There you go as well.
Once those characters disappear, those guys are all also off the show.
Yeah. Yeah, end of an era.
Yeah, it like really genuinely is. I'll be interested to see now that we're down to like definitely only stock footage and stand-ins.
Yep.
How obvious it is next week.
Yeah, I'm prepared for a rough few episodes, to be honest.
Yeah,
But then Adam, so light at the end of the tunnel.
and Rocky.
Okay, let's light at the end of the tunnel.
I like Rocky.
Sorry, what?
I like Rocky, but he was Red Ranger, so
Yeah, he was the worst Red Ranger.
Matt hates Rocky. I don't think I need to keep reminding people, but
see, I just have an affinity to any Red Ranger. They're just my favourite Ranger.
So if you like put a poo in a Red Ranger outfit, would you
Probably.
okay, because that's about equivalent in my mind.
right.
Okay, Mike.
You put a poo. You know.
I mean, look, I just try to communicate Rocky in the best way I can.
He was an attractive guy, though.
No, he's a stupid potato face. This is going to be really awkward if we have to interview Steve Cardenas.
Yeah, you're going to have to sit that one out, I think.
So-
So, Steve, what's it like being the worst Red Ranger?
No, I
and just comparable to a piece of shit in a Red Ranger costume.
I was going to say a piece of shit with a potato face. That's
Oh boy. Creature feature.
yes.
Magnet Brain.
Top half, I reckon. What do you think? Now, remember, he has a cape. Don't forget that.
That's definitely helping.
Okay.
I don't think he's
But
anywhere
if you
near as
listen to
lip
The
syncer.
Incredibles, no capes.
Look, I'm never going to be anti-cape, so regardless, I love The Incredibles, but they were wrong in that one.
Better than Goldar?
Goldar's a weird meter stick. What's around Goldar?
Okay, better than Mantis from Plague of the Mantis?
I don't think so. Mantis was a pretty cool visual design. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree. Better than Hatchosaurus?
God, the middle of the list is
It's
filled
tough.
with weird stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he had a pretty cool visual gag. That giant magnet thing was pretty cool. I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, just above Hatchosaurus is Mutitus.
I think better than Mutitus as well.
Okay. Well, between Mutitus, next up is Babu.
Not as good as Babu, I don't
You don't
think.
think?
What do you think?
I think between Babu and Goldar.
Okay, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy to let you have that one.
All right. That puts him in at number 31.
Okay, not too bad.
No.
Out of how many?
Like 103, something like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
We've seen a lot of this shit, Matt.
Yeah. It's a pretty respectable position.
Yeah.
We've had a pretty good run of episodes, so hopefully that'll prepare us for a rough few.
Yeah, it's going to be weird, definitely. All right.
Cool.
We'll be back next week with Zed's Monster Mash.
Yeah. And a weird start to a new era of the show.
It's very strange because they walked out
Yeah.
of the show, and we'll talk about it more next week, I think. But they didn't cast the new Rangers
Straight away.
because they just didn't have time. I mean, the new Rangers appear 2 episodes from now,
Yeah.
but they also don't become Rangers until 3 episodes after that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a weird transition-y period while they try and solve all the problems. So,
I expect Billy and Kimberly to get a lot of screen time.
yeah, Tommy, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I suspect that this is probably also part of Tommy's intense
I
popularity.
could deal with more Pink Ranger screen time.
We know.
Although when I was younger, I was like, Pink Ranger is the worst Ranger ever, and I don't know
You
why that
regret
was.
that decision?
Yeah, I do. I really do. 'Cause
I
it's
think that
actually
was-
very funny.
Probably you rebelling against traditional femininity.
What was that, Rocky?
Sorry?
What was that, Rocky?
That was Rocky.
Yeah. I feel like when these new Rangers come in, you're going to spend half of the episodes complaining about Rocky.
I'm really
That's fine.
looking forward to
I'm
it.
developing a shorthand. I think I can just call him Shit Potato instead of Rocky.
The thing that I'm really looking forward to is Matt was like this about Jason up until about halfway through.
Yeah, I turned around on Jason.
So I'm hoping that Matt has to turn around on Rocky.
I don't think that's going to happen.
See, I always liked Jason. Always
Yeah.
liked him.
I get that. And I think Jason has developed as a character anyway. It's sad to say that now that he's gone, basically.
yeah.
Oh,
I think he was one of the characters that had a level that you could actually like develop him
yeah.
as a character, because he started off a lot more like
Thick.
everything's
Yeah.
and just like typical jock, which
And
he still is, but he I
really
think
developed
he-
into a leader
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't respect him as a leader for a long time. Now I do.
And now he's gone.
Now he's gone.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
He will always be my favourite Red Ranger, though.
Maybe we'll do
Always.
more of a debrief on those characters and
It's weird, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after 80 episodes of this.
Yeah. Things are changing.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Life moves on.
Yeah, you're
It's
terrible
the same
at
old
change.
song, Michael.
Is this a Fergie song? Is that what you're doing now?
No. I was going to do Dust in the Wind.
Oh, okay, sure. That's definitely not Fergie.
I mean, she might have covered it. I can't say for certain.
Oh boy, I hope not.
I hope there's like interludes with Will I Am.
Fergie?
Like cut into it, like rap breaks. In,
I think we need to wrap it up, guys. Yeah, we will be back next week. Zed's Monster Mash.
Yeah.
First episode, kind of a new era.
Yep. And we'll see you then.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Kaylee.
That's all right.
I'm
It's
sure we'll
always a
see
good
you again
time.
in the future.
Yes. Hopefully there will be fan fiction next time.
Guess we'll find out.
Oh boy.
See you next week, guys.
We've made a terrible mistake.